nights I hold you close, pushing you through I never know. Sometimes I say fuck it all, stare at the calendar, waiting for catastrophes. Imagine what this year will be into changing whatever it is I am changing into. A very right to be scared. Some nights I hold you close, pushing you to hold me, or begging you to lock me up, never let me see the world. Some nights I live in horror of people on tea parties and Twitter. I've never been so bitter, and you wanna stay? Oh my God, have you listened to me lately? Lately, been going crazy, and but you wanna stay? Oh my God, have you listened to me lately? Lately, I've been fucking crazy. There are some nights I wait for someone to save us, but I'll never look inward, trying not to look upward. And some nights I pray the sign is gonna come to me, but usually I'm just trying to get some sleep. Some nights. Hello, everybody, once again to the Wholfe podcast. It's been a while since we've done a recording, and in that long while, I got a new phone. I have the iPhone 7 Plus, I think. It's the big one. It's the bigger one, but not like the super expensive one. And I'm trying out the voice memos app, I guess, right now. Hopefully it works. Not entirely sure that it will. Very hopeful that it will do something a little bit better than what my Android had. And it's just like stock apps. I didn't download a new app yet. I probably will later. And we're heading to class. It's 12:38. We have to be in San Jose at 1:30 for class. So we're gonna get there. Now is the time that we get there. And not entirely sure what to talk about today because I've been up since like 5 a.m. I had work, and then I got off work, and then I drove back home and like went to the store to pick up some stuff, got some gas, had a fight, and now I'm fucking driving to school. So it's been a long goddamn day. And I got my final today. I finished writing my essay yesterday night, and then I had like 2 hours of editing to do for our channel that I uploaded at like fucking midnight, which fucking sucks too. So I did that, and then I got like 5 hours of sleep, or 4 and change. I woke up, I took a shower, I took the dog out to go poop, and then I had work. Work sucked because it was hard. It's work. And it got busy because of Starbucks in the morning. And then they gave, like, my shift. The shift that was there was really bad, right? And, like, the store manager has been on vacation the whole time. So I'm going to have a chance to talk to her tomorrow, hopefully. And the problem with this shift is that she kind of like is very forgetful, or she gets not stimulated, but like over pressured sometimes with so much things to do, and she'll forget to give people breaks or forget that people have to leave. So I ended up working. I'm not entirely sure if I was scheduled till 10:30 or 10 o'clock. I feel like it was 10 o'clock, and I didn't leave. I didn't clock out until like 10:50, like 8. And my fifth hour was at 11. So that fucking sucked. And if I didn't say anything, then they wouldn't have done anything either. And I went to the back of the store at like 10:55 or like 10:54, and I was like, hey, are you fucking coming back anytime soon? Because I'm gonna hit my fifth in like 7 minutes, and I need to leave like 47 minutes ago. So it's an issue to say the least. It's a very big issue. But like I also need money. So like I don't even know what the fuck to do. I need a lot. I need so much money right now. And I'm not going to go over my finances on the podcast, but essentially I make, like, with just my job and the earnings that I make, that's half of what I need every month. And the other half we're covering with like unemployment benefits that I'm doing because I got like wrongfully fired from my last job, and because I'm only working part-time at this job, and like money that our friend owes us, and he owes us like 3,000 almost, so he's just been giving us like $500 every month. So like that plus like an extra $400 from our like roommate at the house, and then that covers like the rest of my shit. But if I don't work, then I don't get money, then I'm fucked. And I don't want to get fired because A, that would look really bad on my resume or in like my work history if I got fired from 2 places in a row. And B, then I would be out of money making for at least a week, if not 2 to 3 weeks. So actually at least 2 weeks, because even if I got an interview like the day of me getting fired, then I would still have to wait for like my first day in training, and then probably wait another week for my first paycheck. So at least 2 weeks with no money coming in whatsoever. And we're selling a bunch of stuff online, but UPS or shipping is literally just the worst. It is the biggest nightmare and headache in my life is shipping. And Amazon's like system is really bad too. So like I've amassed like $600 of stuff that I've sold online. I'm pretty sure it's like $600 or something. And the first paycheck they gave me was like $40 because they had the buyers like left feedback. So Amazon was like, okay, these guys got their shit. That's fine. You can have the fucking money. But because I'm not like a giant seller, I'm not shipping stuff out every day. I'm not getting a bunch of feedback because not everybody leaves feedback after they're done with their Amazon purchases. So because of that, and because I'm not an established seller, my money's like held up for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I have to just wait for it. And I just got an email that they scheduled a new transfer, but it's only like 250. So there's still fucking orders that haven't processed yet, and it's annoying because it feels like I just sold it. I spent money to get rid of shit. Like I spent money to throw stuff away, and it's frustrating as shit. But like I know it's gonna come back, but just money. I hate money. Why can't I like draw or like give people work for my bills and my car payments? Just like barter system it out, and then just be like, yeah, here, I'm gonna draw you this. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna sign it, and not only is it cool now, but it'll be even better later when I'm fucking famous. So I don't goddamn know. It's the blight and oh my god, and I'm in U.S. government right now, and we're coming up on the final. So like for our final, we have to like write a paper, but I hate the teacher so much because it's an online course. It's strictly online, and he is so bad at all of the stuff. Like that's what the feedback that I'm gonna give him because all of the like quizzes are literal. It's not like here, watch this video, and I'm gonna quiz you on the stuff that you learned and stuff pertaining to the topic. It's literally like the question, the speaker in the video or the narrator in the video said like it is a blank in our country, and then the answer is blight, but it's not multiple choice, so you have to type it in, right? But it has nothing to do with like the video because the video is about like global political economics or something, or tax reform in the late 1900s. Like, it has nothing to do with, the questions don't have anything to do with the video. And all I end up doing, because it's almost fucking impossible to remember one fucking sentence in a 20-minute video or like a 20-minute lecture, that I have to, what I am doing is just opening a new window that has, one has the quiz, one has the video, and then play the video at like 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed, and just answer the quiz questions as they show up in the video because they're so literal that I have to like pay super close attention to the video and get the answers. Like I need to know the questions first before I can answer them. And I know that sounds like I'm fucking stupid, but like normally what you would think is that you watch the video and then you get quizzed on the video, not how many fucking countries were in the bottom 3% of the graph that the narrator showed us 3 minutes in. Like, that's not how quizzes should work. It should be more like, what is the, like, process to gaining more GDP? Or what was Barack Obama's or President Clinton's idea for stimulating the economy? Stuff like that. Like, actual questions pertaining to the subject matter that can prove that I'm learning something instead of just being really good at note taking, because I am God like almighty good at note taking. I am so good at note taking. I can take so many notes and they're like awesome. They're awesome notes. They're shorthand, but the shorthand isn't really complicated, so you still grasp the meaning. And my handwriting's a little bit messy, but I work at Starbucks, so fuck you. And it's just, I don't need to be a good note taker. I would like to know how my fucking country spends all the money that I give it, but I'm like literally forced to find that out by myself. And then the essay's due today. So like, or it's not due today, it's due on Saturday, I think. But I'm trying to turn it in early so I can get some feedback, because all of his feedback is just grammatical errors and contextual errors, and he'll have essay questions. So like, just picture in your mind what an essay question is. If I were to give you an essay question on U.S. government or politics, right? And to me, an essay question would be one question, and you answer that in essay form. So like 3 to 4 sentences answering my question in depth or in detail, right? His essay questions are 4 to 5 different questions, and your answers have to be 4 to 5 answers to those questions in 4 to 5 sentences. So he literally just wants us to answer a bunch of questions just in order in a paragraph. And I've tried to do it like both ways, and I got like a fucking F or like a D on one of them because I didn't do it the way he wanted it to. And I took all of the questions that he wrote down in his little paragraph, and I made my own fucking paragraph, and it wasn't necessarily in order because I don't read, like, I don't answer what I read in order, so I start from, like, bottom up, and he was like, what the fuck is this an answer to? Like, this isn't what and this is out of order, and grammatical error, F, D, whatever. And it's so frustrating because he's like, this isn't what I asked for. And I was like, then why am I here? Like, I'm not learning anything with the way you asked for it. Like, it just reminds me of high school, and it's annoying. But I've been doing research for I think I turned in the outline so far, and I have to turn the rest of the paper, but the paper has to be exactly 4 pages or less, or like, it has to be exactly 3 to 4 pages, which is also frustrating. Like, don't give me a limit on how much I can write. I understand you're a teacher, and you don't want to read 6 really poorly written pages, but why not 6 well-written pages? Like, do you not trust me? And I was doing, like, research, and it had something to do with the economy. I don't remember what the fuck I wrote about. But, like, finding out all this information about how, like, our Social Security is running out, like, next year. Next year, all of this money that the government's taking out of my checks, no one gets because we're out of it. And, like, when Social Security was a thing, they had, like, 15 people paying it to every one person on Social Security, and now it's down to, like, 1.5 or 2 people. And Social Security was meant to be a supplement to regular income, but people on Social Security just don't work anymore. And Blue Kitty's grandpa, he works now, but for like about 5 months he stopped working. He like quit his job, and he had like a job as a union bus driver for a school, for like the middle school, which is cool. It's like it's chill, it's whatever. But he quit because it was costing him more money to work than it was not to work because of his Social Security checks. So it's the whole system is just terrible, and I really want them to just be like, all right, Social Security isn't a thing anymore. Like, you're not gonna get your money back because we already spent it, but we're not gonna take any more money away from you. So now the only thing that gets taken out of your checks is going to be state taxes and federal taxes. And that's literally like not even like 3 or 4% of your check. And that big chunk of money that gets taken out is whatever they call your Social Security or no. What am I thinking of? Like retirement thing. And it's federally mandated. And I don't have an option when I sign up as an employee to not take money out of my paycheck. I'll find out my own way through goddamn retirement, or I'll die beforehand. And it sucks because you think about people like, if like God forbid if you die before you're 70 years old and you've lived a full long life or you haven't, there's like thousands and thousands of dollars that you earned and you worked hard for that one you never got, 2 someone else is gonna get it, and 3 the government also just kind of like lost it somewhere. So there's so much, like, every day now I just wake up, I'm like, I can't believe I'm still waking up to this fucking nightmare. And it's not like I still love living in the United States because I can do what I want to do, but like just living in the time where Donald Trump was a legitimate president nominee hurts my soul. Like, it hurts my brain. It hurts me as a person. Every day I wake up, and the only thing that late night talk show hosts and everyone's talking about is like, oh, what the fuck did Trump do this time? And every time it's some stupid racist thing. And I'm like, why the fuck is this guy even running for president? And why is this fuck even winning at the presidency campaign? It's been A fun couple of months, guys. I don't know if you understand. Sorry to get all political on you. I know all you want to hear me talk about is Hearthstone, and we will eventually. The Olympics are going on too. Since we last recorded, the Olympics started. They're still going on, and I haven't watched too many events. I don't watch them live, but I try to keep up with some of them. I heard our swim team is literally amazing, and I think we have the youngest gold medal winner at like 16. Someone won for like not archery but like sharpshooting or something. So that's cool too. But literally the most not impressive but like the best news about the Olympics is the Overwatch Summer Games stuff that's going on. Like Lucio Ball, hella fun. I got 2 loot crates. I haven't even played since it started. Like I played a game of Lucio Ball to level up so I can get a loot crate, just to see if I would get a regular loot crate or a Summer Games loot crate. And then I haven't had time to fucking play. It sucks. And I'm very upset about it. On top of that, looks like we're probably going to be late to class at 12:57, and I'm just getting out of Gilroy, and I have 33 minutes to get to class in the middle of San Jose. So hopefully the teacher read my goddamn emails and also voicemail that I sent him about being late to class and if I could not go to class. But my school sucks. Like I have a 90 something, like a 93 or 94 in his class. I could not take this final exam and be fine. But my school has this really weird, dumb policy that if you skip 2 weeks of a class in a row, then you're automatically like withdrawn from the class. And it's understandable, right? Like most classes are biweekly, so that means you missed 4 classes. Something's up. But half of the other classes are only weekly, so you only meet once a week, and you only end up missing 2 classes, which is 1, manageable, and 2, like who gives a shit? It's oh man, I hate it so bad. And if I don't want to go to class, that should be my right. And if I know I can like still pass without going to class, then I should be able to. Like I understand I'm paying for this class and that I should go so I can learn something, but I literally only need the credit. Like I'm not going to college to take intro to psychology. I'm going to college to get a bachelor's degree in animation. And I feel like I've learned as much as I can from this class based off of the numerous online assignments that we've done because it's a hybrid class. And I feel like I literally could have done this class at home on my computer and been more successful because I don't have to go all the way to the fucking campus. But no. This school wants us to spend all the money going to there. Going to there. Let's stop being angry. I was angry I've been angry all day long today. Like I was giving my coworkers some sass all day today too. And then I like stopped and I was like, oh my god, I'm like really mean today. What's going on today? And I don't know. It's just a fucking Monday. And I hate Mondays. Garbage food. 2016. Get out of my face. We did put out a new episode of like Pokejog. Technically, it's the first episode, but it's edited all the way through, which is nice. I like it. It's not like super funny, but it's not super bad either. And there are points that I didn't have to do, so like I'm going in the right direction for what I need to do with this. But I feel like it's only going to end up being on the Here B3 channel. channels because I've been only able to do like one a week, and then that one a week ends up being on Here Be Three's weekend specials things. So like I feel like it doesn't really matter which which one of my three fucking YouTube channels gets the most subscribers, since I have equal stake in like all three of the channels. So that's the thing, right? And that reminds me, I have to do a vlog episode later today. I'll probably do it driving on the way back. So then that way it's recorded, and then I'll continue. Then I'll resume. Actually, I don't. We're only doing one to drive now anyway. That's whatever. All right, cool. The one thing that I have been playing though is Hearthstone and Pokemon Go. Why? Because it's on my phone. Also, the reason I have a new phone is because Pokemon Go uh, fried my phone screen. I woke up one day and my phone, like we had the night before we were out playing Pokemon Go, and we played for a while and it was fun. It was awesome. And like my phone was like kind of old, and every time I played for an extended period of time, my phone would heat up, and I was like, yeah, it's whatever, fuck. But then like this thing happened, and I woke up, and my phone screen stopped working. Like it wouldn't register touch anymore, and I was like, that's weird. But it's happened to me before, so I like popped it into the freezer, like literally my freezer, and after a couple of minutes it would work for like a couple of minutes, and then it would start to warm up to like room temp, and it would stop working. And from what I've found out is that there's a short in my phone connecting like my everything to the screen, to like touch Iser thing, whatever. And that short happened because my phone was getting too hot, because I was playing Pokemon Go and charging my battery at the same time. So the battery got super hot. Or there was so much shit happening on Pokemon Go, and my graphics and motherboard couldn't handle it, so it got super hot. And it sucks. But now I have an iPhone, which is cool, and I've started playing more Hearthstone because they unlocked Morgul, the Murloc, the new hero for Shaman class. But the only way to get them is if you refer a friend, and that refer a friend gets up to level 20 with any and all classes, which is like tough, but also too cool because it's free. And so I just like made a new account with one of my other emails that I had registered with BattleNet, and like set up a Hearthstone account and leveled it up. So I was like on my phone leveling it up the whole time. And now I have Morgul, and Morgul's cool as shit. But I remember last episode we talked about this sick ass Druid deck. The super cool Panda fucking Savagery Druid deck. And I built it. And let me tell you, it is funky. It is so funky. Like, playing it is weird because, like, I've won a couple of games and I've lost a couple of games with it. I'm only, like, ranked 18 right now, or ranked 19. Because I haven't been playing, like, super a lot. Because One Night in Karazhan is out, finally. First week is out. And I don't want to pay money for it, so I'm, like, grinding my quests. But one of my quests was to win 5 Tavern Brawls. So I was playing a shit ton of Tavern Brawls. And so I didn't ladder as much. But the Druid deck is funky, right? Because one, I have this weird panda thing going on, and then I have this weird beast thing going on, and then I have this weird like attack with bite and claw flash or whatever going on. And I feel like I'm close. Like I'm almost there. I might even just have to get rid of the two regular pandas and put in Savage Combatant, and then I'll be okay. Because um, Lore Walker Show is fine. Like every time that I've used Lore Walker Show, I've been cool. And I think the most important card in the deck for Lore Walker Show is Savagery, because not a lot of other heroes have the same synergy. So like not a lot of people can use Savagery. And if they could, then they'd have to use a weapon. But the way I use Savagery is way more effective because you use like 2 bites, or you use bite and that 4 armor or 8 armor 4 attack card, or you use a bunch of claws, so you get +2/+2, or your hero power, or Savage Combatant for God's sake. And then Savagery I dealt like 12 damage one time with Savagery, and then I like hit face for 12, or killed another thing for 12. Like I can do whatever the fuck I want with Savagery, which is cool because it like saves your life and gives you kind of like another attack. So the way I'm choosing to think about it is like a 1 mana, 1 turn hammer, shaman hammer. What's the shaman hammer? Fuck. Doom hammer. Oh my god, that's fucking odd. Fuck. It's like a 1 mana, 1 turn Doom hammer instead of an 8 mana. So like the 8 mana that you're paying for Doom hammer adds those 4 additional turns because it's a 2/8 with Wind Fury. So that means if you use both attacks every turn, you get 4 turns with it. So if you were to break Doomhammer up, because Doomhammer is considered like a decent card. If you were to break Doomhammer up, then each turn would cost 2 mana, so equal 8 mana each, right? And to make Doomhammer super good, you add like base, you add the 1 mana plus 3 attack card, so that's 3 mana for 6 damage. In Druid, I can do, how much can I do? I can do 3 mana I can do 6 mana for 3 damage too, if I do Savagery Bite. No, I'm off by 1. I have to also use my hero power. So, that sucks. What is that, 5? 3 for 5, or 6 for 5, which is still decent. Or I could do 4, or I could do 8 for 5 if I use Bite in Savagery, or the other one in Savagery for 5, but it's only for the 1 turn. So it's a little bit less good than Doomhammer. And Doomhammer is not that strong right now anyway, so I can see why the deck isn't working the way I want it to. But the problem is just having the point is just have my druid attacking every turn. That's like the goal, right? So I feel like I have to use my hero power a lot. So Savage Combatant would be strong. But I also have to think about board control, stuff like that. So that's why I was thinking with the pandas, I could combo them a little bit with my choose one guys, and it kind of works. Like on 1 turn, I did the Druid of the Saber and put it in stealth mode, so I got a 3/2, and then I attacked, and then I panded it. On the next turn, I attacked, and then I panded it, and I played it again, but I chose the tiger form, whatever the fuck, to get the 2/1 with charge. So that's kind of cool. But that's like the only one. Like, I'm not running Druid of the Claw because he's like too bulky. Maybe I should run Druid of the Claw instead of the Pandas. But the only other Druid card, or like Druid of, is Druid of the Flames, which is the 2/5 or 5/2. Just because it's a strong card and it's a good market use charge target. And it's like a stickier minion than normal, so like that's what I need, so I can use Savagery to board control, and me and my minions attack base. so having just stickier minions helps. That being said, I think later when next time I play, I'll I'll switch out the two pandas for either Savage Combatant or Druid of the Claw, or maybe one of each. I don't know. That's probably a bad idea. Maybe I'll get rid of something else too. Also, that board wipe card is not standard anymore, which fucking sucks because that kind of made the deck when I was talking about it last time. So Soul of the Forest kind of fucking sucks now too. So I might get rid of both Soul of the Forest or one of Soul of the Forest for Druid of the Claw, and then the two pandas for Savage Combatant, and then my deck will be more solid. Because what I found out is that I would keep like board controlling, but not summoning creatures. So I think if I play Savage Combatant, then I can board control, and he's a solid guy. So is Druid of the Claw, so that'll help me maintain board presence. Now, that being said, I started like if you guys don't know, some of the filler one night of Karazhan cards have to deal with Beast, Murlocs, and Dragons. Why? I don't fucking know, but it's cool because they're really strong cards if you can get any two of those targets, right? And I don't have access to the cards yet, but just theory crafting, most people are going to go for a Beast Dragon deck because right now, Beast Druid is really strong anyway. Beast Hunter is pretty strong, and like Dragon Warrior is really strong too. So like throwing in a couple of Beasts in any of those three decks, or throwing in any Dragons in any of those three decks would be pretty easy. You can literally just throw in like Fairy Dragons and Azure Drakes, and you're set with these new cards. One of them lets you draw one Beast, one Dragon, and one Murloc, and one of them gives I think it gives +1/+1 to all your Beast Dragons and Murlocs, something like that. I think. I don't, and there might be another one. I have no fucking idea right now. But it's strong if you can get at least two of the three targets. Now, a lot of the Murloc cards kind of suck, but because these cards are so strong, it like forces like consideration towards these cards. And there's literally only two viable options. Two and a half. There's 2.5 viable options for Murlocs in any of the Beast Dragon decks. One, if you're going more control or mid range, you could go with I think it's called Cold Light Seeker, and he deals 2 damage to every non-Murloc creature. That's a good control card. That's a good board wipe. And you can fetch it with the Architect or whatever the fuck his name is, and you can beef it up with the other guy, whatever. Like, it's a good Murloc card, is what I'm saying. The other one would be Cold Light Oracle to get you to draw cards if you needed, like, to draw cards that aren't under the specifications of Beast, Dragon, or Murloc, just cards in general. Or, if you're running, like, this is the hack, right? If you're running a aggressive deck or a mid-range deck, you might want to put Sir Finley Murgleton in there and try to like to have Murlocs in there because Sir Finley gives you new hero power. He's 1/3, so like in the early game he's really sticky, right? It's a good card to play early game. But towards mid game he's strong on turn 5 because you can hero power Finley Murgleton and hero power again. So you get 2 hero powers for the turn, which is pretty cool. But you can only do it like it's only really strong on turn 5. On turn 6 it's kind of like whatever. And then you have like one awkward piece of mana left over, so it's not on curve so much. So it's really strong on turn 5. So you could essentially like turn 5, hero power Finley, hero power, and then turn 6 play the other guy that boosts or whatever the other card is, and you can play on curve that way. Since like playing the curator to draw certainly Merton isn't that good, since I think he's a 6 draw. But it's fucking cool that the stuff's happening. Also, the everyone has access to like the prologue mission, which gives you 2 cards. It gives you the Druid Enchanted Raven card. It gives you some other fucking card. The Druid Enchanted Raven card is the shit. Like, oh my god, it's so strong as a card. And I say this coming from like a Magic the Gathering background, where there's like uncommon cards, and you can fucking tell when an uncommon card is really strong because it'll line up with these cards, and these like staple cards are 1 mana, 2/2s, or 1 mana, 3/2s, or 1 mana, 2/1s. And those cards are fucking strong because they can deal with a lot of stuff that happens in the first 3 or 4 turns by themselves, especially the 2/2s, because they can take that extra point of damage. But they always usually have something wrong with them, so they either like deal 2 damage to you, or you have to discard. Something happens with these cards, or you just have one and it's strong and it's great, whatever. This is what Enchanted Raven is essentially. It's like it's just the best 1-drop, and it's in Druid and it's a beast. So it has like 2.5 worth of points, almost like 3.5 in a 1 mana card. And I kid you not, the first time I finished the prologue, I put it in my deck, and I played a game on ladder, and I drove both of them. So I just played one, coin played the other one, and just laughed, and it was awesome. And I won the game because on turn 2 I mark if you sarge one of them and just fucked his shit up. But Beast Druid is just a thing. If you didn't think Beast Druid was a thing, it's just a thing now. And it's like an aggressive mid-rangey thing now, which is cool. But it doesn't really leave much room for my like savagery thing idea. Maybe it does, because Savage Combatant is a beast with Inspire, so that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll look into that. But getting way off topic, the because I got Murgle the Murloc for my Shaman deck, I want to make a Shaman deck because it needs cards, and because Murgle is a Murloc, I wanted to make like sort of a Murloc deck. And I was like, I might as well get used to splashing Murloc and shit, so I made a Totem Murloc deck. And it was kind of working, right? Because you have everything is awesome, which gets point deductions for every Murloc you control, so I had to have like a decent number of Murlocs in my deck. But it gets all your creatures +2/+2, which is like Roar of the Wild or Power of the Wild on crack. So all I really need to do is have it cost about 4 or 5, I feel like, and it's worth the mana that I'm using to invest it. Because most of the time, Power of the Wild, you play it on 3 creatures. You play it on your Violet Teacher, and then you play it on the Coined Out Apprentice, and then you play it on the Power of the Wilded Apprentice. So you got 3 mana to give +3/+3 to 3 different creatures. So if I want to give +2/+2 to at least 3 creatures, it's not, it doesn't add up to 7, so it's about 6 or 5. So I need at least like a Murloc or 2. I want to say 2. I've done it on 6 and it was fine, but I had a shit ton of totems out, so I was like, alright, this is working. So it's kind of just one of those cards that you have to like finagle with. And I had Finley in there because the deck was coming out to be really aggressive. Because I would all I would do is play Murlocs and Totems for like 5 or 6 turns, and then on turn 7, I would bloodlust and try to go for the win. And I had like lightning storms and shocks and shit to try to deal with this board so that my creatures could keep attacking. And it's kind of working out. I still have tweaks to do with it because they end up either being like all the way totem or all the way murloc, or I had it happen once too where like I was doing really good with the murloc, and then I got tempoed out, and then I was doing like, and then I had nothing but totems left, and all my murloc cards were trash. And it happened the reverse too, where like I did all my totem stuff out first, and then I got out tempoed, and all I had left was murloc shit. So I still have a couple of tweaks for it, and I'm not exactly sure where it stands either. So it's a little limbo-y right now, that deck. But I love it because I get to play Murlocs with Murgle, the Murloc, and I always wanted to have like a decent totem deck, and I didn't always have like all the cards for it, but now like this is a nice workaround because I don't need all like the totem deck cards because I have to splash some Murloc in there. One thing though, I had Finley Myrtleton in there, didn't work out so much because he would change my hero power to something other than summoning totems. And I tried it a couple of times, and I had my thoughts, was like, he's a good Murloc, but I needed the totems to get out there. So maybe what I should do is change it to like Dragon Murloc or Beast Murloc instead, because the main Shaman like synergy with the Murloc is everything is awesome. Everything is awesome, and Bloodlust, I would say, are like really good synergies for Murloc cards. But they also have like a shit ton of totem cards, and or that's kind of about it. Come on, card, stop being stupid. There we go. Okay. And Beast wise, I don't think there's any Shaman like synergy with Beast or with Dragon. There might be one with Dragon that I don't own because I didn't play the Grand Tournament that much, but I'm not entirely sure. In general, though, I would just throw in like Fairy Dragons and Azure Drake, or I would throw in a bunch of like low drop beast cards, right? And maybe like a high end beast card. That being said, I'll look into it. Cut me some slack, right? Besides that, the Rogue like bounce deck, I haven't had a chance to work on. Like Rogue bounce slash mill, I haven't had a chance to work on that yet. And I don't really want to work on another deck. I want to get these two decks to be like in good state so that I can like just climb ladder. Because there's just like two things I want to do right now is just to climb the ladder so I can get enough gold to purchase like the Wings of Karazhan, because I think the cards are really interesting, really cool. I just don't feel like it's worth like money right now. You know, I'd much rather, if I'm gonna spend money on it, spend money on like $20 or something worth of packs for the new expansion, because they're gonna last me a lot longer than Karazhan, hopefully, right? But the cards are pretty cool, and I think Barnes is the legendary you get uh, in this in the first wing, and he's cool, like he's interesting. I think he's the stealth one that summons creatures and shit, which is great. Nothing against it, nothing for it really either. I just feel like if he was gonna go into a deck, it'd be like a druid mid range deck or a paladin deck, like something with a shit ton of buffs, you know, to keep him alive even if he's stealth. Because crowd control just fucks his shit up, like, every day. He only has one health, so that could be a strong issue for him. My apologies for like being a little like cloudhead. Like I literally have 5 minutes to get to class, and it's going to take me at least 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes to get there. And I just have to make sure I'm going the right way because, like I said, I haven't driven down here for like a week, so it's not like super fresh. But also, since the last time we recorded, I found out something incredibly strange. And to everyone that's playing Pokemon Go, congratulations. I'm Team Mystic, just so you guys know. And a lot of people have been completing the Pokedex, right? And they say completing the Pokedex, like, with exceptions, because no one can catch Moltres, Articuno, or Zapdos yet because they're like or Mewtwo or Mew, because they're like the legendaries, and they're probably gonna get like they're gonna be a like event Pokemon or something. No one knows yet. No one knows what Niantic has in store for these yet. Also, there's region exclusive Pokemon. So for North America, we have Tauros, and Europe has Mr. Mime, Asia has Farfetch'd, and Australia has Kangaskhan. And that's cool, and that's awesome. And when people say they complete the Pokedex, they mean accept those region-exclusive Pokemon and the legendaries. Now, the first person to complete the Pokedex, some dude in New York, I read an article that he got, like, sponsored by American Airlines to fly to each region so that he can get the region exclusive Pokemon and literally complete his Pokedex, sans legendaries. And that's amazing. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Ditto. Because every time they talk about this stuff, like, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. Wait a second. What about Ditto? No one's caught fucking Ditto yet. And you think about it and you're like, oh, wait a second, that's weird. No one's caught Ditto yet. I wonder why. And it becomes this thing because a lot of people are saying that Ditto is probably going to be a region exclusive Pokemon for like South America, because I think at the time of this recording, South America isn't like connected yet to the servers, or they don't have their own servers, so South America can't play right now. So Ditto's going to be their exclusive, but it's weird because it doesn't line up, right? Because Ditto has catch rates attached to it, and like they data mined the game, so and like released the information. People found out that Ditto has catch rates attached to it, and it has like the same catch rates as like a Pikachu or something, or like a Bulbasaur, and it's not coded the same way as the region exclusive Pokemon, which don't have catch rates depending on which region of the game you have. So like, first of all, that's like, wait a second, that's kind of sketch. There's probably more to this, right? Then on top of that, just the fact that no one's caught it or even like found one yet is amazing. Secondly, at Comic-Con, Niantic had a small Pokemon Go panel, and people asked about the Easter egg. Like, oh, this is like the Eevee Easter egg is fucking amazing. Like, is there more? And then one of the the president of Niantic was like, you guys are just scratching the surface. There's literally so many more Easter eggs that no one's found yet. There's so many Easter eggs. And then like, well, can we have a hint? And all he said was keep spinning. spinning. Keep fucking spinning. And then you think you're like, wait a second, the only thing that's spinning in the game are Pokestops and Pokemon. Like Pokeballs. When you try to catch Pokeball or catch Pokemon, you spin the ball and it does the thing, and then it's like a curveball, right? Those are the only things that spin. And you're like, okay, keep spinning. And then what? So there's like a giant Reddit thread of trying to find Ditto because everyone thinks Ditto's attached to an Easter egg. And also they like after they data mine they found that the Master Ball is also in the code for the game. Like people can get the Master Ball. But it's not unlocked when you reach level 40, which is the highest level players can attain. And then they don't get XP anymore, right? So it's not your level 40 unlockable reward. It's tied to an Easter egg. So no one knows what the Master Ball Easter egg is yet either. So like I feel like keep spinning is for the Master Ball instead, which is fucking okay, weird. But then no one knows what to do with the Ditto, so this giant Reddit thread is in terms of trying to find Ditto and things that people have done that haven't worked. So people have like spun Pokestops for like an hour and nothing's happened. People have spun the map in the overworld and maybe like after spinning it a bunch of times a Ditto appears. That didn't work. They tried spinning the portraits of the Pokemon that they've caught then for hours and that didn't work. I don't know if people have like sat there spinning each of the Pokeballs a bunch of times and had that work. Not entirely sure on that one. So I'll have to check. But there's a bunch of stuff that people have done already that have yielded like no results whatsoever, which is hilarious. And like all he said was keep spinning. So either like he's just fucking with us or we're just not doing something right. And we found like there's a Pester Ball Easter egg. So in Pokemon Snap, I think? No. Or Rumble. One of the like off-brand Pokemon games, the main character gets a Pester Ball, which you need to get Ditto out of its form and to like be a Ditto. And that's how you catch Ditto in that like particular game. And the Easter egg is that when you hold down the Pokeball in the overworld and like slide your finger over to the options, each of the four main options like highlights really quick as a different color. And there was a bug where you could turn Power Saver on, hold down the Pokeball, turn your phone upside down so that it'll like lock, and then when you bring your phone right side up, you can press the menu options without them actually entering their correct menus. So they would just stay on that menu screen instead of going to like your Pokemon or your Pokedex or your item bag. And that was cool because then you could like essentially click on the menu icons kind of like a keypad and put in a color code. But none of the permutations or computations of those yielded anything. So, and Niantic released later that was an actual bug and not meant to be there. Like the color sliding thing was supposed to be there, but not being able to like freeze it in place and like type it in like a code. So that one kind of fell flat. And then there was this huge, I mean, giant conspiracy theory that Ditto was one of the Pokemon that you had already caught, and you had to spin that's the thing with the portraits. You had to spin the portraits of your Pokemon to try to like find which one was a Ditto. And everyone thought it was like a Geodude because Geodude has a face on his back, but he's had that face since like forever. Some people thought it was Bulbasaur because Ditto in the anime fights Bulbasaur. Like is the first time Ditto fights it's against a Bulbasaur. Some people thought it was a Pikachu because Pikachu was the first thing that it transformed into in the anime. And all this shit, right? And no one's found Ditto yet. Right now, the person that disproved that theory brought up a Pokedex entry for Ditto. I'm not entirely sure if it's a Pokedex entry inside of Pokemon Go or if it's like a separate game. But it says that the like infrared lights or the lights that come out of the Pokeball to like get the Pokemon to be inside the Pokeball break Ditto's transform ability. So there's no way that we would have already caught a Ditto without it returning into a Ditto itself and not keeping its last form. So that theory got disproven, kind of, sort of. And right now my theory is, when you're trying to catch Pokemon, you have a camera, right? Which nobody uses, right? Because if you have AR mode on and you're trying to snag a cool picture, you use your phone's screenshot, like your phone's screenshot feature, because it's easier instead of having to go to your menu and then you scroll down to find your fucking camera and then take a picture. But thinking of the lights that they can affect Ditto that way, maybe taking pictures of the Ditto while it's transformed will break that transformation and it'll turn from a Pidgey or something into the Ditto. And it's really hard testing it because the way I think of the Easter egg, whenever you take a picture, it doesn't automatically turn any of your Pokemon to Dittos. Maybe it's from the last picture you took, it has to be 135 Pokemon away, and that one's a Ditto because Ditto's number 135. Or maybe you have to take 135 pictures, and the 135th one is a Ditto. So it's hard because when you're playing around, it's a fucking hassle to try to take pictures. But when you do take pictures, it makes a noise, and I'm not sure if it sounds like the same noise every time, regardless of what Pokemon it is. But it's this weird noise, and then you can choose to keep the snapshot or delete it. And I delete all of them. I've deleted all of them because it wasn't funny AR stuff. But I don't know if it makes a different noise when you save it, and maybe depending on those noises, you'll know that it's a Ditto or not. And then when you catch it, it'll transform back into Ditto afterwards. Maybe, right? Maybe. I can hope and dream. It's now 1:38, so by the time we get into class, we'll be about 10 minutes late, which kind of sucks because we're taking the final right now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Tomorrow, probably. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and just thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out.